Hi, my TTC'ER. It's me, Serena, and I am here to do my trying to conceive journey story. So far, in the last 2 years, I have done 4 cycles with a donor, and I'm still using that same donor. If you follow me on Instagram, you guys would know that. So I'm just gonna go into the beginning of it all until now. So I found my donor on a website called knowndonorregistry.com, and from there we met up in November 2013, where we first that's my first cycle right here. And so far everything was good, everything was going great. My period was on time, I ovulated on time, everything was good, baby dancing was crazy. We chose to do an NI, which is natural insemination, aka actual baby dancing sex. BBT, I just tracked with my period tracker. I checked my CM and just kind of wing it. But it was good. I did ovulate. I kind of knew right then. Like I was like before I started trying to conceive, I was still trying to learn my body, so I knew when I was ovulating. I didn't. So everything was good. In my 2-week wait, I was really sick. I had this weird craving for Parmesan cheese. Like I had it on everything, like rice, chicken, tuna, whatever. I had that craving. I was really sick. I was vomiting a lot. I was very nauseous. My boobs was hurting me. Same, those symptoms pretty much. And my period was a week late. I had 1 faint positive test, and then I had spotting for I want to say about 3 days. It went away, then it came back. After my spotting was my full-blown periods, and I was pretty much devastated. I thought it was our time. I just thought that the pregnancy test was not picking up any HCG in my urine, that I was going to plan to go get a blood test done, all of that jazz. But yeah, I got my period, but I was in so much pain. I was really much in pain. I had to constantly be taking something for the cramps, and I had it was all over, lower stomach to my lower back, my hips. It was just so much pain that I was feeling that, and I was passing a lot of, blood clots. Sorry to be TMI, but this is the part of my trying to conceive journey. So I want to let you guys know my struggle. So I was passing passing large amounts of blood clots, and I was bleeding extremely heavy, and I'm already anemic, so it just made my period was just 10 times as worse. So when I was passing all these clots, and it seems to getting bigger and bigger, I just went ahead and went to the hospital, and I told them I think I might be having a miscarriage. I'm not too sure. Something's not right. Can you please check me out? Because it was a weekend, I think. It was about a weekend, so I would not be able to see a doctor anyway. So a hospital, at that point of how much pain I was in, I went to the hospital right away. So they did, they did a pap smear on me. They did blood work, pregnancy, urine test, all that jazz. And they couldn't really find what's wrong with me just at that moment. They said they'll run some more blood tests and they'll get back with me, but they gave me an antibiotic, 1 little pill there. I can't remember the name. They gave me a little antibiotic pill that made me super nauseous, 10 times as nauseous as I was. And then they gave me a prescription to turn in for just in case purposes. Just in case something came back, I was still, whatever was there would be gone by the time I got my results. But so time went on for another week. I didn't turn in my prescription just yet until the hospital called me and they was trying to get into contact with me, but I was working all the time, and I didn't have that availability to answer my phone calls or call them back at the time. So about a week, maybe like 4 days of them, 4 days to a week of them calling me. So about 4 to 5 days, give or take, they was after they was initially calling me, I got a letter in the mail saying I had to add no more pap smear and to call them. Yeah, I remember I was sitting on the edge of my couch. I'm calling, you know, being cordial. Maybe they found something with my ultrasound. I don't know. It is, I just didn't know. Of course, pap smears and, you know, ultrasounds. You just never know. Like, you don't know what you're looking for. They do. So, I was talking to the nurse, and she was like, well, you have an STD. And I just remember, like, after she said that I had STD, she's like, it's chlamydia, and the medicine that they gave you was treatable. The medicine that you were supposed to be taking was supposed to get rid of that. I was so in shock. So in shock. I still can't believe it that happened. I was hurt badly. Like, I was shocked. As soon as I got off the phone with her, I flew in a rage. I was crying. I was destroying things. I was so upset with myself that this has happened to me. Like, I just didn't understand, because we both had, you know, previous partners, but we were stupid enough to not get tested before we did our first cycle. I really want to say that. We were both stupid to not get tested. I'm not blaming me. I'm not blaming him. He's not blaming me. He's not blaming himself. It's just, it happened. It was something very stupid on our part, and that we both take, you know, full-blown responsibility. We moved past that, but I flew in a rage, and I just remember feeling so dirty. I felt really dirty. I didn't want nobody to see me. I had sunglasses on. Even in the store, I just didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be spotted. I didn't want to be touched. I was so hurt and so... It's so hard to talk about, but I need to talk about it. I have to heal. So this is why this is in my journey. I took the medicine and as soon as I got it, and then that night I told my daughter, and it just got worse. It just got worse. Like, how I felt got worse. Like, the words that were exchanged between one another was very hurtful, but how I was feeling wasn't how I was supposed to be feeling. I felt really dirty. I felt like the scum of the earth. Like, because I had an STD. Like, who's proud to have an STD? Nobody is. Not like someone who never had one. You know, it just you know, it's just like, oh my God. So me and my donor, we barely talked that month. Like, I tried to keep the communication going, you know, like, because that's the person that's in me. Like, even if it could have been my fault, I'm the one that tried to still make it right. Or even if it was his fault, I'm still that type of person who would try to make it right, because I don't like leaving things off at a bad foot. I just want to start over, or, you know, make it good and then keep it going. I don't like to have bad karma leaving around. But while I was battling the mistrust that was badly, really there, while I was battling the mistrust that we both had, I was battling the really bad side effects of the antibiotics. I was sick. I couldn't eat anything. I was literally throwing up stomach acid. It was this horrible. I'd be throwing up for like 30 minutes because of this medication. I didn't want to eat anything. I felt really down and depressed. I just felt like shit. Like, I'm gonna be real as fuck right now. I felt like shit. It took a lot of forgiving for each other to get past that, even though it's still like that little small black cloud that's hanging around you, you know. But we got past that, and we both got tested, and we both are clean. In March 2014, we tried again. I think I use prenatal vitamins. I use baby aspirin. I use a kind of like Robitussin, but it was like a generic version. But that I had a really bad experience because it left like this really weird odor, like this very strong pungent odor because of the Robitussin. But it did serve its purpose, but it just I didn't like the odor. Like, I felt like no matter how much I tried to wash, like when I went to the bathroom, like it kind of just stayed. Like, I had to like wash with a washcloth to like try to get rid of the smell. And I think I was BBTing at that point too. That was like one of my real first tries of doing it. But that didn't really work either. And next time, the third cycle was May 2014, which I was taking Geritol, prenatal vitamin. I think that's it. Prenatal vitamin, and I was BBTing. I was exercising, drinking a gallon of water a day. Everything was actually really good. At that point, I did have a faint positive test, but I think I may had a chemical pregnancy at that point because I was late, and then I started the whole heavy bleeding thing. But I did get an STD check afterwards, and I was clean. So I just didn't know. I know at that point I did end up having a bacterial infection, and that could have been just from anything. Like, who knows? Who knows? At least it was not an STD. Like something like a bacterial infection, I can handle. But STDs or anything like that, no. As you guys can see, I was just boo-hoo crying this a little while ago. But yeah, my fourth cycle was recently, which was March 2015. I was using OPKs, which was kind of like my first time ever using. I was using OPKs. I was taking Geritol, folic acid, prenatal vitamins, metformin 500 milligrams twice a day, and I think that's it. And I was kind of exercising, not a lot, but just a little bit. I was drinking a lot of water. I was drinking and eating grapefruits during my fertility window. After my 2-week wait, I pineapple juice, palm juice, Brazil nuts. I was trying to get some warm foods and drinks in, but yeah, that ended with my cycle actually starting early, which is weird. So, but it gave me a 29-day cycle. So far, my journey is not an easy journey. It's not something I want to be 100% proud of. I'm proud that I kind of went through what I went through because it made me stronger. It made me more wiser. It was definitely a lesson learned. I want to be a lesson learned to others who are trying to do the route that I did with a donor. Just make sure you guys are clean and make sure you guys have a common ground, because even though in this video I don't go in straight details like I did on my blog, which I will leave the blog link to that actual post down below. I feel like I could get my words out more freely. Typing and all that, as far as speaking, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But, like, there's more things to my trying to conceive journey that is just, that's never worked. So, I am planning my 5th and 6th cycle. My 5th cycle is in May. We are trying shipping for the first time. I am doing Clomid as well. And then next month after that, June, I'm actually going to be flying back out to see him to do our natural insemination. And I think we might do an artificial insemination, maybe like a soft cup or something like that. Maybe like right the day that I leave, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, those are my plans. I do have my 5th cycle plans on my blog as well. You can check that out. And I'm sorry for crying and cursing. I really don't want to be cursing all on YouTube just yet. But, you know, that's just who I am. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it for you guys. But so there you have it. That's my trying to conceive journey. So far, you get a good glimpse of my 5th cycle. I will be trying to update it and give you guys a good update on how it's going. I hope you guys subscribe, thumbs up this video, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.